Okay, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and others. Uh, we are back again. The the goal of reading one book a week is going strong. Probably not as strong as it's supposed to be, but it's crawling towards the end point as we near closer to the end of the year. It's mid of November already. Uh, yeah, we are trying to finish books that are left, and because of various reasons, we can't just do it weekly like how we started towards the start of the year. So we have grouped multiple books together, and this week as well, we're going to cover three books or four. We're going to cover four books. Anup is here with me. Anup, how are you doing?
Hello everyone. Hello Shiraz. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm quite good as well. So yeah, we've got other four books, right?
Mm. I think those are Overcoming Unwanted Intrusive Thoughts, Make Your Bed, Bartleby the Scrivener, and The Ransom of Red Chief, I think.
Yeah, so the four books, two self-help book and two short stories, I would say, that we read during the last few weeks, I would say last month as well. And uh, yeah, so how did you like it? Let's make it quite quick because we have quite a bit to cover. But in general, I just want you to give a collective impression of how did you find the books that you read.
I don't know, like for me, I recommended the first one, right? Overcoming Unwanted Intrusive
Yeah.
Thoughts. There were parts that I didn't like, but other parts were good. The reason why I recommended this book was sometimes there are minimal intrusive thoughts, okay, that I
Mhm.
have. Simple things, but also sometimes like bigger things.
Mhm.
And these thoughts come and they go by, right? And I wanted to know like how I can overcome these thoughts. So sometimes it's thoughts like I am before a train track, right? And then
Mhm.
like I'm like, what happens if I jump there?
Yeah.
Like of course I won't act on it, but still these thoughts are there, right? So I was
Yeah.
thinking of what is that? And it seems like based on this book, a lot of people have these thoughts,
Mhm.
and they also give us some methods how to overcome these thoughts, right? So
Mhm.
it was nice, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like it also goes not exactly in the self-help direction that we already read, but it's quite similar, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
that was okay.
Yeah, I thought
Wow.
four books were also quite good. It's a bit of there's not so much variety in what we read during last week, right? Two self-help books, and two short stories, both of them kind of adventure stories, but with their own bit of twist. I found the
Mm,
Scrivener Bartleby the Scrivener book the best, and I think it's probably
mm,
arguably one of the better books that we have read so far this year. I highly
mm,
recommend this
mm.
book. Other than that, I found the other three stories quite good at best and underwhelming for some of them. And maybe we can cover them one by one. Let's start with the
Mm.
uh, overcoming intrusive thoughts. You gave a bit of background about it. I just want to add into that is I share the same thing, right? It was quite I would say calming to know that other people also have the same kind of thoughts that you do. I used to think there's something wrong with me, but knowing that
Mm.
other people think the same way is quite reassuring that I'm not
Yeah.
going crazy. Uh, but the book itself, I found it to be a bit uh, dull, to say the least. I think it was
Mm.
oversimplified for the sake of the reader. Uh, didn't probably the writer tried to make it too accessible to everyone, and because of that, it lost a bit of luster about the book, about how you want when you read a book, you want to have that kind of flow about it, and oftentimes the presentation disrupted it. How did you find the book itself, like in terms of how you read it?
Oh, it was quite nice. I felt like look like what I thought was the book could have been a bit smaller and it could still convey the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think after 60 or 70 pages, I think I got it. Okay, and then the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the part was like just stretched, right? So it
Yeah.
had no I don't know, like no significant contents I found. But yeah, like there was some information that I found really good, but it was like I said, like just too long. I feel.
Yeah, when you say that, I remember this specific part. So the way how the writer writes is like he has created three personas, just representing three different types of ways you think. And there's
Mm,
this very, very long part where he's explaining different scenarios. So it's like the scenarios just don't end at all. And it's kind of
yeah.
boring if you read through all of them, and you get the gist of it after the first three of them, but the writer keeps going on for I think 10, 15 of them, and that's I think that's what burns the book a bit. It's a bit problematic because uh, the thing about a self-help book is I want to be engaged at least. Like when I'm reading it, I don't want to feel like I zoned out of it and have to keep myself really focused on the book to get something out of it. However, this book fails to do that because it's something that you would zone out and zone in into the book, and I didn't find it very effective.
Yeah.
About the message itself, how did you feel? Uh, how did you find the book's message? The methods it explains about how to overcome them. After all, it's in the name of the book.
Mm. Actually, I think one of that method worked. So basically, this thing I tried that last time.
Mm-mm.
I forgot what kind of intrusive thought that was, but like it was basically yeah, the book says like there is something, and you think it might not be politically correct or
Mm-mm.
not good, right? Um, and you think of yourself like, oh, why did I think that? Maybe I'm a bad person and stuff, right?
Mm-mm.
I should stop thinking about it.
Mm-mm.
And the funny thing is like, if you try to stop thinking about it, then
Mm-mm.
you unintentionally think about it more, right?
Yeah.
So, um, like instead of trying to avoid the thought, just let
Mm-mm.
it go and just pass it as a temporary thought, right?
Mm-mm.
And that actually I think helped me, right?
Mm-mm.
So that was quite nice, I found. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like the idea of letting you think things through rather than stopping them. Even if there's some
Yeah.
evil thought into it, you think about it and just let it pass and just realize that this thought came to your mind and they don't mean anything at all. I think that message is
Mm,
quite good. Oftentimes we fear that we are the thoughts that we think, but they are not, right?
mm,
If you think it from a purely scientific point of view, then it's just chemical brains playing their chemical games, which makes you think differently. So, yeah, I mean, if I am to summarize the book, it's a decent book to read. Have a bit of uh, scientific backing, I would say, even though it doesn't have so much citations compared to other books that we have read. But
mm,
I think the presentation could have been better. I'm sure we will find something that covers similar stuffs that have been presented much better. It's already there that we
mm.
just haven't read yet, or it will come pretty soon. There's a second book called Make Your Bed, and I just want to hear your opinion about this book, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, there are two parts, okay? Like, the first part is the person having training in Navy SEALs, I think that was
Mm-mm.
where he trained. That was like the first part, and the second part is the self-help part, right? So it is a self-help book, right? It's called Make Your Bed. Um, yes, I don't know. I got the self-help messages, right? But lot of examples. I think especially because we read books such as Manufacturing Consent and stuff, right?
Mm-mm.
It I kind of I don't know, like for me it was an approval of okay, why the author is writing it this
Mm-mm.
way,
Mm-mm.
you know? So I don't know. Like the self-help part, I think I knew a lot of stuff that he was saying about, right?
Mm-mm.
But the Navy SEALs part too, it was. He was trying to advertise it too much.
Mm,
I found, I don't know.
mm, mm,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. I mean, honest with
mm, mm.
you.
Yeah,
How did you like it?
for me, from my point of view, I didn't like it at all, to be honest. The way the
Mm,
author structures the book is that he has some gist that he wants to convey, and he's drawing on from his experiences from his time as a military man, right? And the background is I have a feeling that this writer gave a very famous commencement speech in one of the universities in US, and it got really
mm,
viral, and probably some book publisher thought, oh, okay, maybe we can make a book out of his experience, and then they just went out
mm,
to him and then offered him, take this much blah blah money and then we'll make a book out of it, and then they created it. The reason I say so
mm,
is the messaging is very straight, right? If you have watched the original video, then he covers the same stuff. The examples are more or less the same thing, and he has tried to add more into it, which actually is counterproductive in this case, because at the end of the day, he is a military man. A military man is someone who is not expected to think, right? He's not expected to have nuance in his discussions, introspect, right? He's expected to be a machine, and he's expected to go and hurt other people. And if you look at it from that lens, then this book is, I would say, as straight to the nose as it can get. There's no nuances there. There's no need for you to think. You just read it and then go,
mm,
oh, yo, this is what it is. Uh, I would say I would not recommend such book to anyone, because at the end of the day, if you want to uh, get these kind of messages, then you can just go to a bar and speak with anybody. You don't necessarily need to spend your time
exactly.
reading a book, right? I also found it quite uh, obnoxious when the writer writes in the sense that, oh yeah, I had to. So I just want to give you an example of how he has written
Mm,
is he gives an example of 9/11 and how the whole US was uh, rightfully enraged by it, right? And then he gives his experiences from the war against terror, which was initiated against Afghanistan and Iraq mainly, and then he kind of criticizes people who are fighting against the US force, which is kind of invading their country, right? And in some sense,
mm,
uh, it feels like he doesn't give those people enough empathy. Like he doesn't see from their point of view
exactly.
that US for
Yep.
them is an invader. And there's one chapter where he says, "Yeah, you have to face the bully," whereas US
Mhm.
for a lot of people would be the biggest bully in the world because they invaded their country, destabilized their government, killed their people. And I think he
Yep.
cannot see it from that point of view. And uh, truth be honestly said, that to be a strong military man, I think you have to be kind of blind to empathy to other people and be able to go and kill other people. And I do not think people who write such book, other than say military tactics book, is worth reading for normal people like us.
Mm, yeah. You're right. I agree with you. This empathy part was like really not there, I feel. Yeah,
Yeah, uh, I
definitely.
I don't have much sympathy for Saddam Hussein, right? I don't like that guy.
Mm,
But there's one
mm,
part where he says, "Yeah, I looked at Saddam Hussein and he didn't make his bed, and I always wondered why
yeah.
and blah blah." And I
Mhm.
thought, I mean, if you were imprisoned against your will, then I bet even
Mm,
the writer would not make his own bed. Like you have bigger
yeah,
things
yeah.
to worry about. And that's the thing when I say empathy is that he just sees the person and thinks, oh, he has to work as how I do, whereas he's not willing to put himself in the shoes of the uh, other guy and then think maybe he's not doing
Definitely.
this because he's in his current situation, which is not agreeable to the other person. So uh, probably
Mm,
a book that I would expect a military guy to write, and not something I would recommend other
yeah.
people to read.
Yeah,
Now,
like as I read his name, like I actually thought, okay, maybe this goes the other way around, but like it was exactly this stereotypical book, like what you would expect from, I think, U.S. admiral, right?
yeah,
exactly stereotypical, right? So,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I mean, I watched the video and it was a very inspirational video that he created in
Mm,
the
mm,
speech was really good and the book was really a disappointment, to be honest, and kind of, in my eyes, brought the speech a little less effective now. When
mm,
I watched it back
mm,
again, and I thought maybe this speech is not, he's not as wise as I used to think he was. So,
mm,
in some
mm,
sense, a glass has illusion have been shattered in my brain. But that's the whole reason why
mm.
we are doing this reading thing, right? So that we can uh,
Definitely. Yeah.
overcome our prejudices and our experiences.
Mm.
So it's quite a harsh criticism. Is there something you'd like to add?
No, no, no. I think I'm done.
Yeah. After that, this Bartleby, the Scrivener. How did you like that?
Mm. Oh, it's a nice book. I recommended it this week, but the truth is that I read it like 3 or 4 weeks before, right?
Hmm.
Um, or even like 2 months before. So basically, sometimes I would like just like search in Google for short books, okay, like short
Hmm.
classics, and then I found Bartleby the Scrivener, and it was not that long. I think how many pages? Like maybe 30 or 40 pages, right?
Hmm.
Um, yes, and I think it's a really nice book. I don't know, like the main character, Bartleby, he has a lot of traits like of the other protagonists too, right? But I found it to be really similar to The Stranger,
Hmm.
from Albert Camus, right?
Hmm.
Like where the main character is misunderstood, I think,
Hmm.
but he also misunderstands like the society as such, right? So
Hmm.
in The Stranger, like the main character was misunderstood, but here, like the society misunderstands him, but he himself like does not
Hmm.
get the society. I guess, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, quite nice. How did you like it?
I really like that book. The start was very slow. I almost fell asleep while reading the start. The first few introductions is not so exciting for me, but after the main, I would say the character of interest, Bartleby, was introduced, the protagonist of the story was introduced. I think the story caught up, and it was a very, very fascinating read. Uh, yeah, I have a different take to that. I actually think that Bartleby was some kind of ghost, right? Uh,
Okay.
like some kind of remnant of spirit that was left behind,
Mm,
and the whole
mm,
story is kind of like a metaphysical experience for the narrator of the story, where yeah, stuffs happen, and then the narrator can't get over it, right? And there is a bit of character development, I would say, but it's not uh, as amazing I would imagine the things to turn out to be.
mm. Mm. I get a point, but then again, like everybody could see him, right? Like
Yeah.
the one owning the store, but also like the other people, like from his new house. So you think the other people were also kind of like experiencing this spiritual presence?
Not necessarily. I would say that the spiritual, because the only person who was really haunted by him was the narrator himself. The other characters were not so much uh, they didn't feel so much empathy for the entity for Bartleby, whereas the narrator felt a lot of empathy for him almost to the end of the story, right? And in some sense, that was quite interesting because yeah, the stuff that happened in the story are kind of metaphysical in some sense, and I think it's a bit of a personality thing where the narrator is so easily manipulated about stuff. But uh, yeah, in general, I can't just explain it in words how it felt. It was something that's quite interesting. I think different people will take away different things from it because the character of Bartleby has been created into a very interesting character, someone with so little. Uh, how do I say? He's from a second person perspective. We see him often, and he's got so little presence, so few lines, but a lot of presence throughout the story.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that the book really interested you.
Mm. Did you expect the ending to go the way it did? Please don't spoil the ending, but just did you expect it to go,
Uh,
or did you have something else in your mind?
mm, no, not really. I think like yes, a bit different than what I expected.
Mm,
I thought that Bartleby would be at like the narrator's place
mm,
throughout the story, right? Like until the end, but
yeah,
it
yeah,
was not the case, right?
yeah.
So yeah,
I actually thought,
and to be honest, I was like kind of annoyed with Bartleby at a point,
yeah,
like I
I
don't know,
know,
like
yeah,
yeah, he got under my skin, like even though it was a fictional character, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying as well. But
Yeah.
a very interesting read. I would say it was so fun to read this, and you just didn't know what's going to happen next. And after reading
Uh,
quite some time, I will not say a lot, but some of the books and watching a lot of the movies, you can predict a lot of outcomes that can come from a story. Whereas in this story, it just kept you at your toes all the time until the end, and it really shows
yeah.
a really skillful writer. I forgot his name, the guy who wrote Moby Dick as well, right? So
Mm.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
let's talk
let's
about the
go to the last one.
final book, uh, the
It
Ransom of the Red
was
Chief.
yeah. I don't know. I really like this book. Like it has a small story, I guess, right? But yeah, I really enjoyed reading it. Um,
We shouldn't give a
yeah.
lot
How do you
away,
like it?
but it's a very fascinating story. O. Henry in himself is a really nice writer. I strongly recommend his books.
Mm,
He's a short story writer, so it's an easy read. You can read like one chapter, one short story a day, and then enjoy it. Right. One of
yeah.
my pet peeves as a young boy used to be after we graduated every grade, so from grade 6 to grade 7, we would get all these. We'd have to buy all these books before the start of the year, school
Mm,
year, right? And what
mm,
I would do is from English and Nepali read all the stories
mm,
that the books had in them before the school started. And
mm,
this book, Romance of a Busy Broker by O. Henry, was in one of my storybooks. I don't remember the name,
ah,
but it was there, and I
mm,
read it, and it was such a nice read. It's really funny. It's really
mm,
how do I say emotional and
mm,
very poignant in some sense. Similarly,
yeah.
I found this book to be very funny, humorous, and really fascinating. We don't want to spoil so much because
Yeah.
uh, O. Henry goes directly to the point, right? Unlike other writers who
Mm,
like to explain the scenario,
yeah.
setting, and
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. O. Henry just up to like, yeah, guy A and guy B just wanted to do this, and then guy A did this, and guy B also did this, and blah blah, and so on. So that's quite fascinating.
For me, the ending was like really nice, right? Like what happens at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
right.
cartoonish. Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
So to summarize it, four books that we have completed. Uh,
Mm.
which one would you? How would you rank them? So which would be your top? Which would be your bottom
Um,
of these four books?
like the fictional won this round, and the self-help book didn't. I feel.
Mm-mm. Yeah, for me, I would say Bartleby was top. After that,
Yeah.
the
Ransom.
Ransom of the Red Chief, and after that, I would say
Mm.
uh,
Mm.
intrusive thoughts, how to overcome intrusive thoughts, and I was not really
Yeah.
impressed by Make Your Bed. It was a big disappointment. and yeah,
Mm,
it's but overall it was a really nice read, and I really enjoyed having this
yeah.
week, these last few weeks to read together. We
Mm,
have more books that we have planned. Uh, we have kind
mm.
of started to create an Excel file which lists all the book, and we have few books that we have already decided. Anup, which book are you most excited to read next?
Um, I mean, I think like the one from Marie Kondo because I like the art of Swedish death cleaning, right? And it actually changed me. I feel like I clean my stuffs like more now. Try to be minimalistic as possible. So I'm excited for that.
Mm.
But Candide is also nice. So yeah, like I'm also excited for Candide, I think.
Mm.
And you?
Candide is by Voltaire, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm most excited about Candide by Voltaire. But we have heard
yeah.
about Marie Kondo a lot, and I also
Mm,
want to read Marie Kondo. I heard this is more
mm,
technical rather than philosophical, like how
mm,
the gentle art of Swedish death cleaning was. But
mm,
all in all, I'm looking forward to this week. It's going to be quite interesting.
mm.
Any last words from you, Anup?
No, no. We have a lot of things to cover up, like until the end of this year, right?
Mm.
So uh, let's start with the work.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we have we have had some highs and lows throughout this year so far. There was a phase where we were really inscrutable. We did our due diligence, finished all of our books in time, even earlier in some cases. And there was time when we had to take it slow because of all of the other real life expectations. But
Mm,
all in all, we have been doing so far. We have to just buckle up for the last few weeks and then give our go. I'm really looking forward to the coming few books. These are not so long, so we can finish them quite quickly, and
mm,
they also sound very interesting because some of the heading of the books are kind of classics in their own right.
mm.
So
Yeah.
thank you everyone. We will come again next time. Don't know, maybe next week, maybe the week after with more book reviews. And thank you for sticking throughout the year. We hope all of you are blessed.
Thank you, guys.